So now I'm in county, but luckily when you tell people in county that you got the shit kicked out of you by the cops, they're super nice to you. They're like, oh man, that sucks, dude. Like, let's make your bed and fucking put you in bed. You need a nap and some food. I was like, please, like.
Welcome to another episode of the Powerless to Powerful Recovery podcast. My name's Jason. I'm an alcoholic and addict. As always, our mission is to share experience, strength, and hope across multiple media platforms, the story of addiction and the road to recovery. We are not affiliated with Alcoholics Anonymous or any other 12-step based organizations or groups in any way. And my co-host, Ronnie, no matter what's here. What's up, Ron?
Here we go.
Here, we're back.
Man, we're back.
And this one
Look at this.
Oh,
Look
my
at this.
God.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
There's so many descriptive words that I can say, some character assets, some character defects, but we're going to keep it positive today.
Yes.
Because we got a special guest.
Heck yeah. Hey, you're getting him. He's turning red already.
Oh,
I
my
was
God.
waiting
Turning
to turn
pink.
red, yeah.
We have the director, Desert Recovery Center's
go.
Director of Admissions this year, Adam Leonard. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I mean, are you going to have to stop and take a whole bunch of calls while we're doing this?
I actually had Blaine take them all, so I think we're good for about an hour.
All right, that's
So
right.
Hey,
Yeah,
here we go.
Blaine's
Yeah.
actually going to work today.
He's going to do a little bit, yeah.
Good, thank God.
once.
And anytime we ever have anyone on the show, it's always important to figure out how we actually met, how we actually got to this point. And there's a lot of times where I want to say certain things, and I might want to say certain people's names or organizations, and I don't, because they're just not that important. But have you seen that movie with Bradley Cooper? It's called Silver Lining Playbook.
Love that movie.
Silver Lining, right?
Yep.
That's what recovery teaches us, right? Find the silver lining in things. So could you imagine, let's just say, getting kicked in the nuts 175 times and then being told that you weren't kicked in the nuts 75 times and then filing the appeal to be getting kicked in the nuts 75 times was filed wrong with mistakes, right? Let's just, for reference, okay? How could you possibly find silver lining in that, Ron? You tell me. How could you find silver lining in getting kicked in the nuts, lied to about getting kicked in the nuts, having swollen nuts, told they're not getting kicked in the nuts? How do you find silver lining?
Because through the pain, they make a connection
That's right.
with somebody who's not going to kick you in the nuts.
That's right. And ever since that connection was made, and that's how I met Adam Leonard, through a mutual individual that we know, introduced me to Adam. And thank God he did. That was the greatest thing that ever came out of that.
I am extremely grateful for that introduction, actually. Even through all that bullshit, it's that we came out good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had originally had a plan. We were building desert recovery centers. Licensing had kind of came a little bit closer, where now it was time to start looking for admissions reps. The one that I was originally gonna hire wanted $3 million, was worth $3.
$3 million.
And it's only worth $3 at best.
$1.95.
He said, hey, I got a guy. This guy works his ass off. He's a hard worker. He's reliable. You could trust him. His name's Adam. I'm going to give you his number. And so I got your number, and we met at a coffee shop, right?
I'll never forget it.
We met at a coffee shop, and we talked for an hour. And Ron, this is the only thing I needed to hear about Adam. And I was like, oh yeah, fucking dude, fucking hire him. I'm like, oh yeah, what'd you previously do? He's like, yeah, I used to cut concrete. I'm like, you're fucking hired. Cut concrete, Ron. What does that even mean? I don't even know. I'm tired already.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Do you know? Have you cut any concrete, Ron?
I have not.
Didn't think so.
I've seen some concrete being cut.
And tell me about it.
It's tough.
It's
tough work.
It's tough.
Yeah. So I used to do heating and cooling, right? And the concrete guys, cutters, used to have to come in and cut the holes for us to put the ductwork through. And that stuff is brutal.
That was my specialty, was cutting holes in walls.
Up like this with the
With
machine.
the big
and
ass handsaw, yeah. Beast mode.
So now you transition. Now we're at Desert Recovery Centers, right? And we have this meeting, and not many people really know, but I mean, you were the first employee that we had with the company. It was just you and I for a very long time, through licensing, through getting the houses ready, through the inspections. You were there. I sent you to Walmart to get like comforters on the fly. I had him over at Fryer, a location, removing bars in the showers and towel racks, and it was just you and I. But from that beginning, even before the properties were licensed or open, you had already begun to cultivate relationships. You were already going out to having lunch and doing meetings and doing all those things and spreading the word of recovery, because the truth is we wouldn't be where we're at today if it wasn't for your hard work. Because we had another marketing company, not the one that we have now. I'm not going to shout out your name because I don't want anyone else to get on with you guys. So I'm not even going to say your name.
Please do not say that.
I'm not going to say your name. But the other company that we had and the other previous company that we had. So basically what I'm getting at, Ron, is we haven't had marketing. It's for about 3 months we have. We've been open 11 months. Prison math that. We just got marketing. So, Ron, you're smart enough to connect the dots on this.
85%.
If you got no marketing, but you're paying for marketing and you're being told that you have marketing and you have beds that you need to be filled, but no one knows who you are, your website's not connected, nothing fucking matches.
How about the fraudulent spreadsheet?
Let's another show, another time. Another show, another time.
We'll add
So
that.
what does that mean?
Boots on the ground, baby.
Boots on the ground, dude. Literally,
Beg, borrow, steal,
Suck.
promise.
Knee pads, whatever I had to do, you know what I mean? Whatever it takes to get the clients in to get the help they need, we were doing. And we actually were successful those, first 8 months with nothing. We were scrounging.
Dude, and you had the census full, and it's a direct reflection of you working your ass off every day. And I don't care, people may not have seen it, people don't, maybe they don't know it, dude. But if they ask me, I will always tell, because without you, this company would not be here. Without your relationships, your hard work, going out, meeting everyone, all the things around the clock, 7 days a week around the clock.
7 days a week, yep.
And if it wasn't for that, coupled with me doing the same thing because we're all different verticals, and that's what makes this podcast so great. Because we couldn't do it without Desert is not here without these three individuals that are sitting right here. I bring the licensing component, you bring the business development component, the emissions component, and Ron brings the compliance and the documentation. And now you've coupled all three of us together, and we actually know what we're doing now. It's lights out.
Wow.
Well, the craziest thing is, because our employees feel and they believe in our program, that their word of mouth has brought in a ton of clients on their own. So our employees get the word out about our facility because they're working there. They get to see the program in action. They're telling people how amazing our program is, and then they're bringing in, people from AA, NA, people that need the help. So the word's getting out. But it's a lot of the employees that are just, expressing how good our program is that's killing it.
Ron, what'd you think of Adam when you first met him? Were you thinking, dude, does this dude always wear a hat? Is he ever going to fucking... what were you thinking? Does he dress nice ever?
So let me see if you guys remember this.
I did yesterday, though. I was all fancy yesterday.
I know, I'm just messing.
So I was at the other project that is gone now, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Rest in peace. I was posting pictures. And I remember we were taking care of some stuff over there, and you had already came over full-time Desert.
That's right, yeah.
And you were like, I needed some help placing some clients, Native American clients,
like
right?
70?
Yeah, and it was right in the middle of when everything was getting shut down for that population. And you said, I'm going to send my guy over there.
You're like, who's your guy?
And I'm like, okay, send him over. And I don't think he was prepared for what he saw when he got there.
I was not.
He got there for this.
Do you remember what I told you? I was like, all right, bro. I'm going to send my guy over there.
And then let me know what's up.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know what's up.
Oh, it was an interview, basically.
No, well, you were already my guy, but dude, we threw you into a
Dress rehearsal. It was a dress rehearsal.
shit show.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and you showed up, man, and what was infectious for me was your calm demeanor, because it was chaos and madness. These people were scared. They didn't know where they were going to go. They couldn't stay there anymore. You were calm, and then after us having a conversation, I found out that you were a dad. And that was the driving force in everything that you do. And from that moment on, we started to develop a friendship. We started to, because I was at that other company, and we used each other a couple different times to get people placed. You had called me, I got some people placed, I called you. And then we started to form this working relationship, and now a friendship, and now we're here at Desert together, But being a dad and your calm demeanor, and that everything that you do is about that little girl, and that's the juice. Because if that is the reason for you to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, then that's the Adam Leonard we get.
Oh, she's done much more for me than that. That's basically where I got to with her. But she's the reason I got clean. She started everything for me.
And I got to ask you a question because this is something
Let's
that
do
I
it.
guys got to ask. I like to ask everyone
love
this.
questions.
Okay, so when I said to you, I said, Adam, don't even trip. I got a whole team already ready. We're not even going to run an ad, brother. All-star team, right? I said, don't even trip. I got the team, right? And I bring over Johnny, Mohammed, right? right? I bring over the whole team, dude. I bring over the guys, dude, right? Yep. When you take a, I mean, you take one look at us and immediately you see lived experience, right? You're like, these are all peer supports, right? When you see the team, what'd you think?
I was taken back, but as I got to know them, I saw what you saw in them, and I was like, oh, this is the team. Like, this is literally the team. Once, at first appearance, you know, you take people at what you see. But once you get to know someone, it changes your whole outlook. And Johnny and Mohammed, Ron, I was like, holy shit, he has a team. Like,
you're like, hold up, Ron, you're gonna put him at the women's house by himself, all women?
And dude, Ron made that house successful. Ron killed it at that house. Ladies loved him. He has such an energy with the female clients. I mean, that house was thriving with him there.
It's all about connection, dude. You just got to talk to the clients. You got to connect with them. And if you look across all of our Google reviews, all the different reviews that we have, we never get a comment about the house. It's always about the staff.
Always.
Hey, Adam used to, and I think you might not know this because you're always so busy, but when we were building Moody House and he was having all these tours and mothers and fathers would come, he would soften the blow before they got to the door and seen, because I was 300 pounds, beard, right? It was before I lost all the weight. He'd go, now, I just want you to know you're going to meet Ron, the big teddy bear.
Teddy bear.
He would let them know that.
He's
right?
the teddy bear.
So that when they got there, they weren't like, oh my God, what is this? It's deranged Santa Claus. but yeah, it worked, right?
But
the
it's
dynamic
your heart.
worked.
Your heart. That's why I mean, let's be honest. You have a rough exterior, but you're a teddy bear, dude.
You're a little rough.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Looking pretty now. I like that shirt.
Could you imagine with a taser and a baton at all times?
You know what? I actually can, because I've seen photos and I was like, yeah, he looks like a taser guy.
Yeah, you showed them all photos?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just to be where we're at, you know, and what's awesome about this podcast today is what, the 26th, 27th?
26th.
Doesn't matter. Prison math. It's the end of the month, which means that March is coming up, and March 4th is our 1 year anniversary that we've been open. 90% of businesses fail in their first year, and we have opened up 3 properties, getting ready for a 50 bed, getting ready for an in-network, out-of-network IOP, getting ready. We're just getting warmed up in the first year, dude. Shout out to the team, dude.
I know.
We don't do it that way.
Shout out to the team, man. We don't do 1 minute ASAMs, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely
No,
not.
we don't. But every journey starts somewhere. We want to talk about your journey, brother. And so, Phoenix, born and raised, Phoenix, Arizona. Stand up. Oh, stand up, Phoenix.
North side?
Oh,
West
43rd
side?
43rd and Bethany.
Oh,
West Sider.
That's
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that area.
Oh.
I used to love it too. It did well for me back, you know, when I was getting fucked up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. And so, can you just kind of share, just for all the listeners, just kind of what it was like, the family dynamic, what it was like growing up, just so they can kind of get a snapshot of that time period?
So it was weird. So my mom and my dad, my biological father, they met after so my stepdad and her knew each other since 4 years old. They were childhood sweethearts. They went to high school together. They knew each other their whole lives. He went to the Army. She met my dad. So they had me and my sister, and then his addiction took him to prison. I didn't know he went to prison. He just said, hey, I'm leaving, and you're not going to see me anymore. I was like, oh, you know, I didn't know. I was 3. So he left. Me and my sister, my mom, ended up living with 3 other single moms. So we were living in a, you know, tiny little house with a ton of kids and 3 moms. We got robbed, and in that burglary call, my stepdad was Phoenix PD, heard the call, and came because he knew my mom's name. So he's like, I'm going to go to that house. So he came, showed up, I remember in the middle of the night, for the burglary call, and they rekindled. So he had a daughter.
Hold up. So your soon-to-be stepdad shows up on the call. He's like, oh, I remember her.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I remember her. Mm-hmm. I'll take this one. Right?
Red hair, green eyes.
Oh, I mean, he said, I'll take this call.
Kryptonite, you know what I mean? So he literally heard the call and came because he heard the name. And they literally rekindled that night.
Wait, that same night, like he
I
wrote
mean,
the report, stayed the night.
I mean,
mom, shout
you know
out,
what I mean?
mom.
Good for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get it, single mom. Do
yeah,
what you gotta
shout
do.
out,
You know what I
mom.
mean? So he had a daughter and a son. So it was basically my mom, me, and my sister. So now there's 4. They basically move in like a month later. We're living together. They have my brother and sister. So now it's the Brady bunch: 3 boys, 3 girls. His, hers, and ours.
His, hers, and ours.
You know what I mean? So because I don't know, I don't want to, speak on him. He just passed away, but so I don't know what his trauma was, but obviously being a Phoenix PD, seeing all that bad shit, he drinks a lot. So I'm the stepson. So I take the brunt of the abuse, you know what I mean? So a ton of physical abuse. I remember one night cops being called for domestic violence. He beat the shit out of me, my mom, my sister, and never touched his kids. But he, I was the punching bag at 5 years old. So I was 13. So one night it gets real bad. The cops come and I look outside and they're out there laughing. There's buddies. You know what I mean? What are they going to do? They're not going to take their buddy to jail. So they're out there laughing, having a good time while I'm in there bloody. My mom's bloody, sister's bloody. And so we left that night. And, my mom did her best. She's a single mom. She has now she has 4 kids, and she gave us the option to go back after, because it was bad. I got my ass beat. I was probably 8. Yeah. And so she said, and she used, because we have a Glendale or a Windell, that's her maiden name. We all use manipulation, guilt trips. So she kind of manipulated us to go back, which is, whatever. I understand. She can't support 4 kids. So we go back, and it was good for about a year. And then I think it was 10 when he literally just beat the absolute shit out of me. I was bad. And we left again for a week and went back. And then I was 13 when he tried again, and I was big then, and I was like, no, fuck.
You put the tips on.
I was like, let's, you know what I mean? You want it, let's go.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it stopped. Luckily it stopped. And at that time, I think that because of all that abuse, I found drugs real quick. So I moved to Cali from here to go to high school. And the first time I smoked weed, it was over. It was my addiction. I literally had to have it every day, every night. I couldn't live without it. And weed, it's weird because it's just weed. Don't get me wrong, we moved to Cali, so it's Cali weed, so it's the good shit. I'm not smoking
back
trash.
then, yeah.
You know
You
what I
weren't
mean?
picking out seeds.
No
and stuff.
Arizona ditch weed.
Yeah.
No. It was I was hallucinating. It was really good shit. So you know what I mean?
Is that red spice? Is that man down?
You know
It's the
what I
good shit. Dude, that's the insanity of the illness, bro. If someone overdoses on heroin, you're like, dude, we got to get some of that shit.
Where'd they get
That's
that?
the good shit. Someone has an episode on spice, you're literally on, dude, I'd be on the stretcher off the yard. Hey, where'd you get it on? Right? Crazy.
Gotta have
dude.
the good shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that goes on till I turn 15 and I come back for a trip. I come back to visit my family on a trip when I was 15, and my uncle, God rest his soul, thought it was a good idea to take me to my aunt's house because her husband sold meth and to give me meth for the first time. So my family and my sister's there getting high with my aunt and uncle. So it's like a family disease. So I literally get taken there and do meth for the first time. And I'm flying back so we're moving to Oregon now. So me and my sister fly back to Oregon, high as fuck on meth for my first time to move to Oregon. And, my addiction is just gone now. Now I'm a tweaker, full blown.
Do you find it quick when you get to Oregon? Do you just look for a trailer park or what?
So she gets a job at a gas station, and it's literally
yeah.
you know what I mean? Because you can't pump your own gas in Oregon. So literally, they have 10 employees, and all of them are getting high on meth. So we found it immediately. She found it, and then I just kept getting high. And then I found the needle. So they showed me, you can get much higher if you slam it. And that was intense.
Yeah.
I only ran with that for about 6 months before I stopped shooting it. And then I get in trouble at the school and get kicked out of every high school in the state of Oregon for a violent crime. They said I was a threat to students, so I was forced to get my GED at 16. So now I'm working at Safeway, making a bunch of money. I'm 16, I have no bills. Just spend it all on dope. Dope and CDs, because CDs were a thing back then. You know what I mean? So I had a giant book of CDs and a shit ton of dope. So that goes on until we moved back to Cali when I was like 17. I started going to college, but I'm not going to college. I'm just...
You're enrolled, but you're not
You
going.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
A good way to meet a drug dealer. So I met a kingpin of weed, and we just go to his house and watch anime, get high, and get drunk every day. I just quit going to school, just hang out with him. He has everything I need. I don't have to spend any money. He has it all. And that goes on until I turn 18, and as soon as I turn 18, I move back here, and that's when shit gets bad.
When you come back here, do you move right back to Phoenix, or where do you live?
Right back to the hood, yep.
Oh, you go right back to the hood.
Yep. So my sister moved back here too. So her and I, our addiction literally was coinciding our entire life. So basically from 15 till I got clean 6 months before her. So she has some clean time too now. But we literally went through our entire addiction together.
And then you come out here, then you get out into the meth out in AZ.
Yeah, so...
And that's a whole nother ball game.
So because I was
a little bit cheaper, right?
Oh, much cheaper.
Much cheaper than Oregon. A little bit closer to the border.
And better.
And better.
What I mean? Yeah.
So are you on the corner of 27th Ave and Northern doing the electric slide and the Macarena at the same damn time? The Dougie flipping a sign, or are we robbing and stealing?
No, at this point I'm just sitting in my room because my sister had a place. Her man took care of us. I just lived with them. I was getting odd jobs like Subway, Kmart, because Kmart was a thing back then. I worked at Kmart, and
Blue light special.
You know what I mean? And then I would slang dope. So I would sell meth, and I lived with them, so I had no bills. And so I would just be in my room peeking out the window. You know what I mean? I was a window peeker for a while.
Window watcher.
Were you weren't a window peeker? No, Ron wasn't. Ever? I was.
No, at the end. At the end, I was, yeah. At the end, I window watcher, supersonic hearing.
Oh, yes. The listening, yeah.
Yeah, all the things.
But that was just at the very end.
Now, are you starting to get any kind of trouble? Like, are you starting to get, do you have cases now in Cali, Oregon? Do you have misdemeanors, fines you never paid? Is this like all starting to stack up? Because the consequences are progressive as well. Does that start to stack up on you?
So at 16, I did catch that violent crime charge, attempted ag assault. But I was a juvenile, so it was a slap on the wrist, then go home, you with your parents, OR'd. And then I come back here, I catch a little assault charge at Subway because they didn't want to give me my paycheck, and I went crazy. I was like, give me my money. Yeah. And they called the cops. Me and my cousin both got arrested actually because we caused the scene.
Did you get your check?
So I did get my check, but here's the thing. So my sister's like, hey, hang the blinds in your room. And I'm like, no, I just caused some shit. Like, their cops are going to come. They know where I live. I work there. And she's like, no, hang the blinds. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, the cops are going to come. And so I went and hung the blinds, and the cops show up, and I'm in the window trying to hang the blinds. And he's like, he comes and knocks on the door. He said, hey, I want Adam Leonard to come out. And she's like,
he's not here.
He's not here. And he's like, I'm wearing a Deion Sanders jersey. He's all, send number 21 out. Yeah. We just saw him in the fucking, he send number 20. So I go out and get my little ticket. It was a ticket for attempted assault. So then, motherfucking Sharice, dude. I love you.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, I love her. So I catch my real charge. So I start selling drugs around 23 for a very big dealer. And I went into psychosis, and I left his place. I left the kilo there, but I took 10 grams.
Now, when people say psychosis all the time, and I want your opinion on this too, Ron. So when you say psychosis, what do you mean by that?
Oof. So the Mormons were trying to get me, the ones that ride on bikes. Like, I always thought the Mormons, because there's a backstory with the Mormon thing. We won't get into that, but so everyone's trying to get me. Literally anyone and everyone, the Circle K employee, everyone knows I'm getting high. They're gonna call the cops on me. Everyone is out to get me. That's psychosis. And you make it reality in your brain. Like, whatever you think is true.
Check, check, and check.
Yeah.
That's you, right? That's
you know what I mean?
met.
Yeah. So it got bad. And so I left his house. I took 10 grams because I was going to sell them. And I took a bunch of E. But I had a bad feeling. So I ate all the E. I smoked all the weed. But the Coke was my money. So I kept the Coke. and my airbags and my knee. I had a Dodge Neon, forest green, fucking ride or die car. And the airbags were deployed, and when the airbags deployed, it knocked the windows out, so I had no front windows. But the airbag, so I shoved them in the airbag, and I put it back so it looked like it wasn't blown, but you could totally see the steering wheel was blown. So I'm too high to drive. Like I knew I was in and out of consciousness. So I pull over in the first parking lot I saw. Happened to be a church. I didn't know it was a church. I just pulled in the first parking lot. So I wake up getting billy clubbed in the back of the head because I had a gun next to me. So they open my door, billy club me, and then I wake up hogtied in Mesa jail, getting kicked. I just remember Boots just kicking the shit out of me. So I had road rash on both sides of my face from when they dragged my face in the street. The cuffs went to the bone on both wrists, and I got drug sales, attempted ag assault on a cop, like 3 DUIs that they dropped, a bunch of shit. So the only ones that stuck were the drug sales, F2, and then I got the F6 undesignated ag assault on officer. So now I'm in county, but luckily when you tell people in county that you got the shit kicked out of you by the cops, they're super nice to you. They're like, oh man, that sucks, dude. Like, let's make your bed and fucking put you in bed. You need a nap and some food. I was like, please, like. So I go to county for like 2 weeks, get bailed out, and my first charge, so I got 4 years probation for drug sales. My cousin takes over for me, so now he's slinging dope for the dude that I just left, and
Prop 200.
You know what I mean?
Prop 200.
So I get picked up. My cousin takes right over, and he's like, "Dude, you snitched." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm at your mom's house on bail. I'm literally at your mom's house on bail. You don't get bail if you snitch, bro." Like, you know what I mean? Well, we had Soul Tune undercover. I didn't know prior from the house. So they did get raided. So he shoots himself in the leg like an idiot. He's on crutches. And he is literally, bro, that's what we call him. So he's breaking up a kilo in the room when they get raided. So he gets a distribution charge. And then the paper documents come out. My name's not on the docket. I didn't, say no names. His paperwork comes out, and 8 people in the house when they got raided, all told. Everyone was telling. You know what I mean?
Ron, did you ever get your discovery and all your shit?
I did.
I've never seen when Ron comes over to the house, right? It's 15 years ago. Ron comes over to the house. He's like, "Hey, bro, I'm in a lot of trouble." I'm like, "How much trouble?" He's like, "Let me show you." He shows me all of his felonies. Dude, how many did you have? 25 F2s or something?
25 F2s. And at the paperwork, people told on me in the pre-Miranda interview, so-and-so and so-and-so said that Ron Alessi had in the pre-Miranda. They weren't even under arrest.
Cuffs weren't even on yet.
And they just started talking.
Yep. Scared of those cuffs, man. Everyone's scared of those cuffs.
Cuffs weren't even on yet, dude.
Dude, I've never seen. Dude, you had so many F2s. I'm like, all right, we got to get you out of state fast.
You were like, hey, I remember you were like, and you didn't know what to say. You were just like,
this is bad.
You're done.
Yeah, it's bad. I go, yeah, it's kind of bad.
Yeah, we got to get you out of state. So we got to go. Ohio. Yeah, tell them about that little excursion, dude, out to Ohio.
Yeah, man, I went out to Ohio, and we had a friend out there. Shout out Brian.
Shout out Brian.
He was out there doing the phone room thing. So I went out there to this little one light town, and they said just lay low, Ron. That's all you got to do is lay low. And I didn't lay low, and I stayed out there for a while. I was doing some telemarketing, and then I got bored and I missed Jason, so I took the bus back.
From Ohio, shows up at my house with Ash, at midnight with his duffel bag. Ron's back in town.
Did he have a gallon of milk?
No, I think we went and got him one.
No, he did, and then that's when I got nailed.
Yep.
Right after that, I was back in town, and I was like, "Yeah, no, there's no warrant yet." Remember?
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, there's warrants.
Yeah.
You got warrants. You got a lot of warrants, dude. They're looking for you. And so then you get put on probation, right? So you get put on a 4-year probation tail, and does that straighten you out?
I mean, I quit doing hard drugs. So actually, for the first 11 months, I thought I was pissing clean because I was taking vitamins. And she comes out and she said, "Hey, you have 11 dirties in a row. One more and you're going in for your." I was facing 10 to 12. So she's like, "One more and you're going in." So I quit doing hard drugs. And I'm working at a bar at this point. So I start drinking and Just drinking daily.
Were you taking like niacin and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I was just eating a ton of niacin, the multivitamins, and it looked good.
Doesn't work. Never
No,
works. None of that shit works.
No.
Ron, do you know anything that actually works?
Being clean.
That's it.
That's the only test I can pass, and I'm not scared to take that
Dude,
test.
I'll tell you right now, none of those drinks work. None of that shit. I have spent so much money and I failed every time.
Me too.
So to tell you this quick story, I'm in the methadone maintenance program back in New York, much different than out here. Like 1,500 people, you got to get on a waiting list. So when you get kicked off the methadone program, it's a big deal. I'm on methadone. The counselor says you get one more because I'm smoking crack. You know, I'm not doing heroin, but I'm smoking crack. You get one more dirty UA. We're kicking you off the program. And I'm like, man, I can't have that. So I knew the weekend was coming up. I partied, smoked crack all weekend, and I bought that green PP. It's called PPB Gone. You heat it up in the microwave, and it's like warm snot. And so I did that. I drank it. I go to the methadone clinic. I'm all cocky. They tell me you got to take a UA. I take the UA. 2 days later, I come to get my dose. I'm in line. They call me out of the line. And they said, we need to talk about the UA. I go, man, I'm clean. I didn't use. And they go, the problem is you're too clean. I didn't even have methadone in my system. They cleaned me of everything.
So it actually did work.
It worked.
All right.
Too well.
Too well. But still didn't technically work.
No, exactly.
They never work. Dude. None of them do. Except being
expensive, too.
clean. But somehow working at a bar, being on a 4-year probation tail, you actually get off probation. You managed to do that. Were they not testing you for like alcohol and weed and stuff or what?
So I wasn't smoking weed, just alcohol, and she wasn't testing me for it. Because she was actually, it's funny because she was going to my bar. It was like one of the ones she would go to. So I would see my PO at the bar I was working at. She was super cool with me. She was like, I was her best case. Like I did what I was supposed to do.
You're paying your fines. You're doing all the stuff you're supposed to do. And then you finally get off. So did you get off probation to get high immediately?
Literally, like, it was probably a couple days after. I went right back. Well, actually, no, I got a tooth pulled, and they gave me Vicodin, which I've never liked opiates, ever. And they gave me Vicodin, and for some reason, it hit me different that time. And I liked it. So then I started buying pills. Pills are expensive. Pills are so expensive. My cousin said heroin's cheaper. Like, fuck, all right, well, I never said I would do, I said I never would do heroin, but if it's cheaper than the pills,
If it makes
bro,
sense. I mean,
sign
money
me
makes
up, you know what I
sense.
mean? Save me a couple bucks, now I can buy more meth. So now heroin and meth are in my life. Full blown again. I'm on it.
So now we're talking 31 to 34-ish.
27 to 34.
And you're going just on a hard, sick one.
Yeah, but it's weird. I always kept a job. So I was I was a superintendent of a landscape company. My boss was getting high, so I would sell him, drugs, and he was cool with me getting high. So I was just running the jobs, and I'm really good at what I do. I'm a hard worker, so I was just getting high and working. And then when that job failed, I went to another. I would just get another job, and then when that job failed, I go to another one. So I supported my habit with jobs.
Work.
Yeah,
Working your ass off.
labor. Everyone, it doesn't matter if you're getting high in your construction, because as long as you're working hard, you're hired. You know what I mean? You can push a wheelbarrow and dig a hole, you're hired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then so what ends up happening though is a life-changing event happens and your wife gets pregnant, right?
Yes. So I catch another charge with my sister at Motel 6 in Glendale, downtown Glendale. And I get a prison mandatory sentence. So because I had that drug sales years prior, it was 9.5 years. 6 more months, they couldn't have used it against me, but it was 9.5. So I go to Papago, slap on the wrist, Camp Snoopy.
I did time there.
Dude, Papago's nice.
No, it was real nice. Old Best Western
Oh,
converted, dude. Yeah, it was
You know
real
what I
nice. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I do 6 months. I get out. She's pregnant like the day I get out, because I saved it all up. You know what I mean? She gets pregnant, and I relapse. And I relapse for 6 months, so it's full-blown addiction at that point. So I'm 6 months into it, and she gives me an ultimatum. She says, your kid's going to be born in 2 months. You can do what your dad did and leave and never see her ever again, or you can get clean. And this is a Friday. I had the job of my dreams back then, cutting for a large company, cutting and demoing concrete. And I quit on a Friday. By Monday, I was cutting and demoing concrete in the middle of summer. So I got my clean dates June 16th, 2016.
Could you imagine, dude, being dope sick for day 3?
Day 3.
God.
Cutting concrete in the summer? I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'd die. I couldn't do it.
It was that kid. So I wanted that baby in my life. She was worth more to me than anything. I'll kill myself in the middle of summer. So because I'd landscape prior, I mean, I used the summers, you know. The demoing and cutting concrete, I was not. So I've done it one time prior when I was 31. I worked for like a year as an apprentice. So I kind of knew what I was doing, but I was too weak. So I was so weak, I couldn't actually perform. And they gave me a chance. They said, you know, you have 2 weeks to get yourself in shape. And those 2 weeks, I just killed my body. I'd go home. I was too tired to go get high. That's literally what I was too tired from working 70 hours a week in the middle of summer, cutting and demoing concrete to go get high.
Arms like rubber.
Dude, I would go home and lay on the couch, bro. And I would shower and I would literally lay on the couch.
Yeah.
I couldn't move.
Tough work.
And then the kid was born. I was on drug court at this time for another charge I caught. So I'm on drug court, cutting and demoing concrete. And then I would say drug court kept me honest. You know, random UAs, going to classes. So I'd go to classes. Everything I had to do, I actually finished drug court in 51 weeks, which is impossible. It's a 52-week program if you do everything right. And I had missed one class for the birth of my daughter, and they let me make it up on a different day. So I finished a week early. The judge said she's never seen it.
Awesome.
So now I have my kid, I have my job, I have my lady, and I'm clean for the first time in my life.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. But also, too, we got a real big piece in there, and that piece is Blaine Archer, right?
Yes.
Because Blaine Archer was visual proof that sobriety is possible, right? So why don't you share a little bit about that?
So Blaine and I, it's a weird story. So he's my brother-in-law, technically. So me and his, well, we never married, but we're basically brother-in-laws.
Sure.
10 years we were together. So he is living with us, and he has a year clean. When I had 6 months and I lost it.
Yeah, because he was just on the podcast. His episode's going to come out. He's on your team, right? So you guys are the emissions team together, right? And he was talking about how when he had got he was sober for a year, he was in a sober living home. He got evicted from the sober living home. The whole house got evicted because they couldn't run it properly, whatever the case was. And then he moves in with you, and he's living on your couch.
Living on my couch and combing on my shit because I'm relapsing constantly. We're both working at Jackson's Car Wash because I'm fresh out of the pen.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
Working at Jackson's Car Wash. Well, he's clean, but everyone at Jackson's is getting high. How the fuck am I going to stay high?
So he's throwing you shade all the
You know
time?
what I mean? Oh, bro. And then the worst was so he's home, it's day off. I come home, sunglasses on, dark apartment, scrubbing the kitchen. And he's like, he literally came in and he's like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, are you going to tell me you're not high? And I was like, no, I'm high as fuck, dude. Like, you know what I mean? I'm high as fuck. And this is right. I think the ultimatum was like a couple days later. So I saw this dude who I never thought would be clean in his life get clean. So now he's living on my couch. He's going to meetings constantly. He's doing the thing. And so I quit cold turkey, and I'm too tired to go to meetings. I couldn't literally get off the couch to go to a meeting if I wanted to. So he comes home and he shares his experience and hope with me, and we have our own little private meeting. And that's literally the catalyst to getting me sober, seeing that dude do it.
And then what I also, because this was something was really super helpful for me, I should say, and because that's where we're going to transition to is becoming a professional in this industry, right? And so I actually had the ability to teach that drug class in prison. Dude, I was only like 90 days sober. That's why I give people chances, more chances than I should, hire people in early recovery, probably when I shouldn't, when most people tell you not to. Does it work out all the time? No. But when it does, it's pretty cool. But the reason why I do it is because when I had 90 days sober, she allowed me to facilitate that drug class, and it just shooed me into recovery. So not only do you have the visual proof of Blaine seeing the recovery, seeing him go from being shot out to this best version of himself, growing, evolving, right? Positivity and gratitude and all these things, working in recovery. Now he's working at Soul Surgery. He's working in recovery. And now he brings you over into recovery, which solidifies your recovery because now you're a shining light in recovery, right?
Yes.
You're backing yourself and I did this. I had to do the same thing, back myself all the way into the corner, dude, of recovery. So that fall from grace is so goddamn fucking far of a fall. I ain't even gonna look over the ledge just to see. Not happening, dude, right? And so can you kind of share about that time period? Because what ends up happening really quick after that ultimatum, after you get sober, you start doing the at-home meetings together and you're starting to get a taste of the program, you start working in recovery pretty fast. So how does that all play out?
So Blaine and my baby mama both worked at Desert Cove. So Blaine went from Desert Cove to Soul Surgery, and he moved up.
And your lady's a therapist, right?
She is a therapist currently at Desert Cove.
Yeah. Shout out to her, yeah.
Yeah, so she works in treatment because of Blaine and I. So Blaine goes to Soul Surgery and opens it. He was a case manager from the day it opened, builds himself up, moves to business development and admissions, and he's running business development and admissions. He had an employee who wasn't producing. He just was not working. And he knew my work ethic, so he was like, "Hey, like you have clean time." Like
he's like, "This dude cuts concrete, dude. You're hired." That's the same thing I thought. I was like, "Bro works his ass off." Hired. I didn't even hear. Dude, that was like 3 minutes into our cup of coffee. I was like, "Oh yeah, we're good."
So that's literally, I mean, because he saw how hard I worked. Dude. He was like, "You want to come try this?" And he's like, "You can help people." And I was like, "Okay, like I'll try it." Working in the AC, I'll try that. I'm working in summer, so let's see what I can do.
Heck yeah.
First month, I did well. I produced, and
more than Blaine.
No, Blaine was a beast back then.
You could have just said yes, dude.
I'm honest.
I know, brother. You did more than Blaine last week.
I did.
Yeah,
I fucking smashed him last month.
Him.
Hey, I'm one ahead right now. Currently, I'm trying to hold that crown. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Month's not over yet. Mm-hmm. But the dude that was there, he had been doing it for like a year, and I came in and just smashed on him. And then the next month, I smashed on him. And then the month after that, I smashed on him. So they're like,
"You're fired.
You're done. You can't produce." This dude comes in and just like has no training and just smashes on you. Like there's something wrong. Like you're not trying. So he gets fired. It's just me and Blaine now, and we're filling Soul Surgery 62 beds, 2 people, 7 days a week, smashing.
So why am I hiring a third?
For the 50 bed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's right. That's right.
It's preemptive.
Oh, preemptive. Okay, my bad. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I do need a day off.
I know.
I need 1 day off.
I know, brother.
So, and the fact that I'm good at this, I don't think that's why I do it. It's because I found my calling in helping people. That's why I stay. Like, I've been good at everything I've done. I was good at landscaping. I was good at cutting concrete. I was top producers on both. And I'm a top producer in this, but it's not because it's because I give a shit, because I care about people and I want to help people, and I found my calling. It's helping people, and the more people I can help, the more people I can bring to Desert Recovery, it gives me, fills me. You know what I mean?
Dude, when we, and I think I just said it the other day, when I walk into any of the houses and I see clients in there, dude, it makes me want to cry. And I know you have to feel the same way, because we walked into those houses for a lot of days, times, months, and it was empty.
Yes.
And it didn't think that we were going to be able to, felt like at times that we weren't going to be able to pull it off. And I'll tell you one thing, dude, that I'll never forget it. So when we had the Glendale location, which was the first location, the one we were licensing the longest, all the things, and anyone that has to do licensing knows ADHS is a pain in the ass. They're unorganized, whatever. They're an agency, okay? So I call every week and I send emails. I've sent them everything that they need. Why haven't I cleared administrative review? Where's my survey at? And I'm being nice at this time, right? Like I still have some patience left in me. The old project hadn't stolen all of my serenity at that moment yet. So I'm checking weekly. I have all the things. I know I've submitted everything. And then we're coming down to the deadline, dude, and it is 4:55 on a Friday, bro. I get an email from ADHS, application withdrawn, rejected. And bro, I dropped to my I was at my parents' house, bro. I dropped to my knees, dude, started having a panic attack. And remember, they close at 5. So I call and I'm like, I'm trying not to have a complete meltdown right now. I just need some answers. How is my application rejected? And they're like, "Oh, well, you didn't have a fire permit." And I'm like, "Oh my God, the same fire permit I've sent you 16 times," and literally sent it to her because I knew exactly where it was. And within 5 minutes, we were approved. But dude, what we went through to get these.
Didn't you just forward her the email that you had originally sent in the beginning? And she literally was like, "Oh my God, it's been there the whole time."
It was there the whole time. I sent it to her 3 different times in the same email thread. So everything that we went through, dude, to get these properties ready, to figure it out, a year of Adam going out to all the different community partners and building relationships and going out to lunch with them and taking tours all over the whole entire state, to finally get the license, to now be joint commission approved, to have 3 properties open, to do all those things, dude. Man, hard work, dude. You're 100% right.
Just getting warmed up.
And we're just getting warmed up. And so when you think about that, what we've been through, because there's only a very select few, you, myself, Ron started from day one of the first property that we opened, that very first day, the day before he came on board, right? And Johnny, and that's about it from day one. It was basically...
That's it from day one.
That's still here, right? And so basically us 4 have tried to navigate this, keep client care to the best of our abilities, and really start to see what this future is going to look like, dude. And to be where we're at today, I mean, when you think about it, what do you think about the last 11 months coming up on a year, and then what do you think about what's to come?
I'm literally grateful for the program you have built, because let's be honest, this is your brainchild. You know, you put this together. I just came in and helped. You know what I mean? But you know, the team, the program, I think for the future, we're just going to help a ton of people. This program is the program. I've worked at a couple other ones, nothing like this. No one cared like we do.
How many clients have we helped in the first year?
I just ran a report. So I'm getting conflicting reports, but it looks like 94.
94 clients.
I think it's more than that, though. I need to pull a different report. I thought it was 177, but...
That might be total that came through, but maybe
94 clients.
Yeah. I mean, dude, how amazing is that?
And that's without marketing. That's without anything. That was just boots on the ground. And now we have marketing, so our reach is longer, further, so now we can actually start helping more people.
And Ron, when you look at Adam's documentation, let's just get it out right now, out in the open. What's he not doing?
Oh,
let's hear it, dude.
I'm gonna let Adam tell me what he's not doing.
It's pre-assessment, sir. It is a pre-assessment. And I have come to terms with that, and I have, since we had that conversation, every pre-assessment has been done.
Ooh.
A little guidance goes a long way.
No, we just got to get Blaine to do it.
Actually, Blaine's really good at it.
No, you know, and hey, I had to tell these guys. So, you know, with Kipu, the evolution, Kipu's evolving, and I sent out this mandatory. This is a mandatory meeting, you know, and I'm sending it out to a director. It's mandatory. And then I call him and he's like, yeah, well, I think I got Adam, you need to be on this call because this directly affects you, right? And he's like, well, I'm going to make Blaine sit in the car with me and we'll take the meeting together.
Well, so I have a very big lunch right prior. So I'm going to make sure I get out of there in time to hop in the car. I'll do meeting everywhere. I don't give a shit. I'll go in the bathroom and do a meeting. You know what I mean?
I just thought it was funny when you said, I'll make Blaine get in my car and do the meeting.
We're going to do it together. Yeah. We'll hop in the car because he's going to the lunch.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the best thing about it. And that's why we always get the same reviews and compliments. It's always about the team, right? Ron and I have been friends for 15 years. You and Blaine are like family. You guys work so good together as a team. You've been doing it for so long. Johnny and Mose and Emmett's and I mean, and just the core and but really the whole entire team we're all family, dude. We've all just like the big book talks about escaping disaster, where people who normally would not mix. Maybe we would hang out, we probably would. Maybe some of our other staff members, maybe we would not mix, we probably wouldn't hang out, right? But we've came together for a common goal, to solve a common goal, to help as many people as we can and do it together. And that's where the magic happens. And on the recovery side of things, when you recover together, that's where the magic of the fellowship happens. So now we're in recovery with our team that gives a shit, that as members of a shipwreck, we've all escaped disaster in some capacity together, and we're helping others escape disaster together, right? And then that becomes the secret sauce, right? And then what people don't see is they don't see that all of us go to meetings. They don't see that all of us have sponsors. They don't see that we all have sponsees. They don't see that we're at Crossroads and all the other facilities we sponsor men at 6 a.m. during the week. That's the only time we can meet with guys. Nobody sees that, right? We don't need them to see that, dude. But when you couple all those components together, that's why we're going to win. And that's why we're winning. And that's why we're going to continue to win, because 2025 is our year. But every single day we got to get up and we got to work 7 days a week. Sorry, brother.
It is what it is. I'm used to it.
I know. And just to have you on the show, man, just to hear more about your story. I mean, obviously we've got to know each other pretty well now over this last man, coming up on almost 2 years since we've started together, about a year and a half at least with you and I, dude. I just can't wait to see what this looks like. 50 bed property coming, in network, out of network, IOP, 15,000 square feet, homes for housing with that. And we're doing all that by spring break. Not about spring break, but
June, right?
I mean, it's
Don't scare me,
summertime.
bro.
I
Don't
know.
scare me. Yeah.
I mean, and those are the goals that we have because we figured out how to do it, how to help, but most importantly, how to have those outcomes, how to find success, and how to help someone find recovery that's meaningful to them, that they know how to apply it, that they can get a continuous result and carry it into every aspect of their lives. And we've been able to do it with 90 plus clients, right? And we'll continue to do that with some more as we continue to add more beds. Dude, I'm just so grateful that you're on the team. Where can they find us? If someone's suffering and they want to get in and they need to get a hold of you, how can they get in touch with you?
So it's going to be desertrecoverycenters.com. There's forms on there. You can always fill out a form. You can call me directly. My number is 602-668-5447. There's multiple ways to find Desert Recovery, but those are the two best.
Yeah, social media, desertrecoverycenters.com.
Podcast.
Yeah, Ronnie, no matter what, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Desert Recovery Centers. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, I know everybody reaches out. We have a new calendar link that's going to come out. We'll get everybody on the calendar. If you want to be on the show, please express interest, DM me, drop a comment. We love hearing your support. We love hearing your feedback, and we love hearing you talk shit. So please, if anyone else has any names they want to call me or any of those things, dude, please. I think that shit's funny too. So again, Adam, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being Adam. A member of our team. And thank you for all your hard work, man. It's just been an honor to have you on the show and a member of Desert Recovery Centers.
Thank you for everything.
Tune in to the next show.